Famine is imminent in Gaza for 1.1 million people facing catastrophic food insecurity.
ولا في أكل ولا في شرب.
A new report says that if hostilities are not ceased and if sufficient aid isn't allowed to flow into Gaza, then evidence confirms that a famine is imminent in northern Gaza and has been projected to occur between mid-March, which is now, and May of this year. But what is famine and how does it come about? Famine is an extreme deprivation of food, the indicators of which are starvation, death, destitution, and extremely critical levels of acute malnutrition. Famine is measured and classified by an area where 20% of households face an extreme lack of food, and 30% of children suffer from acute malnutrition. It's caused by conflicts, natural disasters, economic declines, and inadequate humanitarian responses. While some have said that famine is an admission of collective failure, the EU's foreign policy chief, Joseph Borrell, recently said the following.
I dare to say, well, yes, Israel is provoking famine. It's entirely man-made.
There are 5 phases of food insecurity, and northern Gaza is currently in the 5th and most dangerous phase of famine and catastrophe. Whilst the whole of Gaza's over 2 million population face crisis levels of food insecurity or worse, the World Food Programme estimates that simply addressing the basic food needs would require at least 300 trucks to enter Gaza every day and distribute food, especially to the north. And interestingly enough, this recent report doesn't mention airdropping aid into Gaza, which has proven to be costly and dangerous, and people in Gaza have called it dehumanizing. The charity Oxfam has recently said that Israel continues blocking aid responses into Gaza, and that Israel's government bears accountability for the breakdown in the international responses to the unfolding crisis in Gaza. Now let's quickly talk about the situation in Gaza before the war. Acute malnutrition in Gaza stood at less than 1% 6 months ago. So this imminent famine has only come into being because of Israel's aggressive onslaught on Gaza, and because of the heavy restrictions on aid coming in that Israel continues to put in place. Israel's near-continuous bombing of Gaza has been going on for over 160 days now, and aid groups have accused Israel of deliberately using starvation as a weapon of war against Gaza's population.